Thomas Lee Jones could only hate her more if she did something. Jones was born on September 15, 1946, in the small Texas town of San Saba. Jones grew up in the middle of nowhere in Texas. His mom had a beauty shop, taught in schools, and worked as a police officer. His dad worked in the oil fields. He had a strong sense of place as a child because he grew up in Texas, which has a lot of space. He would be changed by this sense of place for the rest of his life. Self-control and hard work were big parts of his childhood, and they are still big parts of how he acts now. Jones chose to go to Harvard to study English writing because he was given a scholarship. As you can see, he really loves language and wants to learn new things. He shared a room with Al Gore in college. Gore would go on to become vice president. He was also the point guard on the basketball team. He worked hard in school and sports, just like the kind of hard work that would make him famous in Hollywood. Jones moved to New York City to become an actor after high school. He really wanted to stand out in a company that has a reputation for being tough. In the same year, he got his first paid job in the Broadway show A Patriot for Me. There was a long rise ahead that would make him one of the most important movie stars ever. Small roles in TV shows and movies like One Life to Live and Love Story, 1970, were the start. Jones wasn't well known at first, but his dedication and hard work made him famous very fast. He didn't want to be well known. He never took his eyes off the art show. In the 1980s and 1990s, Jones was the most well-known person in the world. He played a killer named Gary Gilmore on death row in the 1982 movie The Executioner's Song. He played Loretta Lynn's husband Dooley Mooney Lynn in the 1980 movie Coal Miner's Daughter. But his role as U.S. Marshal Samuel Gerard in The Fugitive, 1993, which won him an Oscar, cemented his place in movie history. He did a great job because he was in charge, smart, and funny in a special way. After that, he played the part again in U.S. Marshals, 1998. After that, he had great parts in Men in Black, 1997, No Country for Old Men, 2007, and Lincoln, 2012, which showed that he understood how hard people are. Jones is known not only for his acting, but also for running shows. He both directed and played parts in a sad modern Western. It was called Melquiades Estrada's Three Burials. People liked the movie because it had a great plot and a lot of morals. Jones loved the Southwest United States. The movie showed how much he knew about what was right and wrong, patriotism, and making peace. After that, he was great at making movies like The Homesman, 2014. Getting into the spirit of the frontier was important to him in both his personal and work life, as these movies showed. People have always thought of Tom Lee Jones as quiet and humble, even though he is well known. A lot of people know him to be smart and honest. He'd rather be alone than in Hollywood. He lives on the farm even though he owns several ranches in Texas. He acts tough and strong, like a lot of the TV and movie parts he plays. He is serious, smart, and loves his art a lot, according to people who have worked with him. He wants to be honest and real at work and in his home life. Tommy Lee Jones is a famous actor who has worked in Hollywood for a long time. He's done a lot of great things in his life, but his relationships have been just as important. In them, they show how love and friendship have changed him. Catherine Lardner, Kimberly Claughley, and Dawn Laurel are the women he has been married to. Their different marriages show different parts of his personal and professional life. They also show how his need for privacy, safety, and a reason for living has changed who he is in public. Jones first married Catherine Lardner in 1971. Catherine's family was famous for making movies and writing books. She is the granddaughter of the famous author and actor Ring Lardner and the daughter of Ring Lardner Jr., a famous screenwriter who made it through the Hollywood blacklist era even though he won an Oscar for his work on MASH*, 1970. Through his marriage to Lardner, Jones became friendly with a family of famous people from book and movie. Jones was making a name for himself as an actor in both movies and plays when they got married. He had just graduated from Harvard. His early work had good and bad times, but their marriage was there for both of them. Soon, he had small roles in movies and TV shows like One Life to Live. The two seemed to be having a hard time because of the demands of the movie business and Jones's growing work responsibilities. They were intellectually close and loved the arts. He also did a lot of things outside of work. After 7 years of marriage, Jones and his wife broke up in 1978. It was the end of his first real romance. Jones learned more about what it takes and how much it costs to work for the government while he was married to Catherine Lardner. It also helped him see the creative people in Hollywood better. When he married Kimberly Claufley in 1981, he became more humble and down-to-earth. Jones had a lot of ties to Texas, and Phil Hardberger, Kimberly's father, would become mayor of San Antonio, Texas. This link made Jones what he was. Jones became famous while they were married for 15 years. Before Coal Miner's Daughter, 1980, he was in JFK, 1991, The Fugitive, 1993, and other movies that were hard and different. Tiffany Lee and Tom Lee had 2 kids, Austin and Victoria. Jones loved his family very much, as everyone who knew him well knew. He often talked about how much he loved living with his family on their ranch in Texas. It was a great break from the busy life in Hollywood. But as his fame grew and he had more movies to make, his marriage started to have problems. It was hard for them to have a family and become famous all over the world at the same time. So in 1996, they finally split up. Jones loved being a dad so much that he stayed close to his kids even after they moved out. Jones was truly happy when he married Dawn Laurel a 3rd time in 2001. Jones worked with Dawn on one of his movies. Dawn was great at taking shots. They became friends because they both liked art, stories, and how beautiful simple things can be. Jones's relationship with Dawn was a lot less public and loud than his other marriages. Jones has a big cattle ranch in San Saba County, Texas. It shows how much he loves the land and his roots as a cowboy. He and his friend have fun there all the time. Getting away from the fame of Hollywood has given them a good life. There have been some business projects that Jones and Dawn have worked on together. Dawn has some of them with pictures. They respect each other and love art and nature, which has led to a long and happy marriage. He is very grown and wants to find peace of mind after being in the public eye for so long. Tom Lee Jones has been married 3 times, and each time he felt a lot of different kinds of love. His goal before he married Dawn Laurel was to be smart. When they were teens, he was seeing Catherine Lardner. After that, he got married to Kimberly Claufley and had a family. Jones's love life went through different stages with each relationship, just like he did as he grew from a young star to an American movie hero. Thomas Lee Jones could only hate her more if she did something. In 1981, Jones and the famous actress Sally Field were in the dark road thriller Back Roads. That was the noise on the set. 2 Oscar winners will work together on a dark Southern story. The plan seems good on paper, but the film didn't have any consistent style. Instead, there was a storm of strong feelings brought on by conflicts between people, egos being crushed, and deep-seated hate. Some say that Tommy Lee Jones got even more angry at Sally Field while the movie was being made. Jones was already famous for being very skilled and very angry. The worry had an effect on both their work and the mood of everyone at the site. In the early 1980s, Jones was just starting to get a reputation as one of Hollywood's most dangerous leading men. His job changed a lot at this point. He had a precise way of acting that made people scared. He would be very focused, silent for long periods of time, and not like funny things. Without a doubt, Sally Field was not like other people. The girls in her life didn't mind how she pushed them because she was moody and rash. She was a star and a great artist, and her movie Norma Ray had just won her first Golden Globe. She was always cool. When these 2 stubborn people got together, bad things happened. Its creators didn't want a loving type. They wanted one that could start a fire. A lot of people paid attention to what they said. The crew remembered that Jones would storm off because she didn't like how hard Field trained and insisted on doing more than 1 take. He believed that the way she was acting was too emotional and annoying. She thought he was rude, cold, and full of himself. Tom wasn't upset about how he felt. He stated, he thought Sally was too dramatic and too controlling. Glenn Corbett played a small part in Back Roads. I heard him say, "I can't work like this." This is for her, not the part. She brought up the fact that they don't agree because they have very different ideas about art. Jones put a lot of value on being accurate, having self-control, and following rules. Field, on the other hand, thought it was very important to really understand and connect with others. Even worse, they were supposed to be in a dangerous relationship together on screen, so they had to be honest and trust each other. It was said that Martin Ritt, who directed the movie, had a hard time keeping the peace because they were so mad at each other. Things got even worse when Ritt told Jones that she liked Field from their work on Norma Ray. Jones was already very angry. Reports say he thought Field was getting extra credit for his work while he wasn't getting enough for his own. He also thought the set was based on what an artist wanted. Tom Lee Jones, who was brave and strong, got mad about that. Thomas had a quiet anger about him, according to Corbett. He would just look at her and act cool when she tried to give him a letter or an idea. It looked like the air was very cold. He didn't scream. He didn't say anything. You knew he didn't like anything about it, though. Jones was mad, but he didn't say it out loud. He was honest and pure because he controlled his anger and let it show in his eyes. In the end, Field said Jones was mean and tough, and it was hard for her to work with him. They still didn't get along after Back Roads was shot. At the movie opening, the two stars didn't talk much to each other, and Jones wouldn't go on any press tours with the other singer. Jones was seen by more people, and they say that he always called Field the actress instead of her real name. After many years, Sally was proud of how well she had done her job. She tried to be nice when someone asked her about her co-star, but she couldn't help but joke. Some actors think that connection is weakness, she said. That seems like the point of stories. Their anger made things worse for Back Roads instead. Fans of the film said it was unstable mentally, and the main characters didn't seem to share many similarities with each other. But the stress of real events made the movie more honest than either of them could have been. Jones is even more sure than before that it's important to keep your mental space on set. Field learned that when pride gets in the way, even great artists can fail. Someone told me they were like water and oil. Two smart people couldn't come to an agreement. Tom thought she was smart, but he didn't like the way she did things. Even though Sally knew he was in charge, she couldn't stand it when he didn't say anything. That's one way that hate can get around in this field. The book Back Roads is about the close friendship between two famous people who were at the top of their fields. It's also about two unhappy people who travel together but can't relax when the cameras aren't around. People who knew Tommy Lee Jones well say he never talked about Sally Field in public again. He had been mad at her for years, though. It was meant to show that when two people who don't get along fight, even the best players can mess up a scene.